Hi. Nobody taught us how to fall apart. They taught us how to study. They taught us how to go to work. They taught us how to smile and keep showing up. They taught us how to act. I want you to imagine something. The phrase, "How are you?" for a long time, it became a formality. It became just a greeting. It's not just a real question of how you are anymore. Now, I want you to imagine a vase, a beautiful, whole, intact one. And every day, someone placed a stone inside of it. It can be a stone of pressure. It can be a weight of grief. It can be the silence you swallow instead of speaking up. And it can be all the negative things in life that sometimes we do not have a name for. Every day by day, stone by stone. From the outside, the vase looks fine, but from the inside, the cracks are already forming. Now, everyone in this room has this vase that represents our mental health. And every day we have been filling it in silence, pressing the lid shut, pretending that we are fine, keeping a smile, showing up to work. Now, we do this because we live in a society that values so much unbrokenness things and perfection. It values the people who have it all together. But are we really? Now, as a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, I sit with this contradiction every day. I see the people coming through my clinic doors with their vases broken. I also see the people who are coming my door with the psychiatric symptoms that come from the complexity and etiology of both biological factors as well as the environmental factors. We are more connected than ever. Everyone has a personal device. We have better social networks. We have better communication techniques. Yet, how are people still suffering in silence? Is it because they have no pain? Or is it because they have become master and experts in hiding their pain? If we are connected more than ever, and mental health is talked about more than ever, we post about it, we hashtag it, we wear the language of vulnerability like a badge of honor. Yet how is it still not safe yet to sometimes realize we are not doing okay? Now, I sit with this contradiction every day because the people coming into my clinics, they have the vases broken. And it got broken not just by a single moment, but by an accumulation of things. It can be academic pressure. It can be a new role transition. It can also be the fact that they're having so much shame, doubt, guilt, the things that eat them inside. And every day, it accumulated until one day it shattered. Now, that shattering is the first psychiatric symptoms I often see. It can actually show up as depression. It shows up as anxiety. It shows up as panic attack. The moment we realize we are not doing okay and something has been brewing in the dark. Now, I see and I understand these patients, not because I treat them every day, but because for many years, I used to be one of them. I came to the United States when I was 18, with my suitcase full of dreams and ambition, and the invisible burden that immigration generation sometimes don't have a name for. That your future does not belong to only you. It belongs to the people who have sacrificed everything for you. And that was heavy. So for a long time, I learned how to keep my head down, how to keep going, how to pretend that I am doing okay, not knowing what it was costing me. Now, I'm also a children of 3. My younger brother and I, we share such a deep connection and sacred one that only 2 of us understood. He was my person. He's my best friend. My favorite memory of him is we would actually climb up to a wooden stairs that my dad had, through the garden up to the rooftop, with our back against the open sky. And I can see stars, and we would share stories. We would share giggles. And I remember he told me that, hey, one day, let's try our best to learn better. Let's build a future together. Let's do innovative things. And I held on to that promise. But you know what? He did not make it. When I was undergrad in UCI, it was during one of the school term. I received a phone call and I learned that he passed away. And just like that, I felt so much pain, I felt so much rage, I felt so much shock. And I asked God, like, why? And at that moment, I had 2 weeks to grieve. Not because that was the only thing that the school allowed me to do, but because I did not want my grief to be an additional burden and put a financial strain on my family if I stayed 1 year behind. So I allowed myself 2 weeks to grieve that. I transformed it into something measurable, and my pain became my productivity. Oh, I graduated classes. I passed those tests. I built a career, not knowing how much it was costing me. Because my emotion has never been processed. And to all the people around me, they look back and say, wow, she is so resilient. It became a habit of me to call my family more often. So after a 12-hour shift from the hospital, I called my dad. Now, my dad is not only my father. He's my chef. He's my handyman. He's my driver. He's my mentor. And I called him once and I called him twice, and he didn't pick up. So 1 day passed and 2 days passed by. And on the 3rd day, he called me back. But it was not his voice on the other line. It was someone else of my relatives that said, hey, your dad went through an emergency surgery. And I'm sorry, but he didn't make it. Now, at that moment, my vase, the one I have been holding on, shielding it against all the adversaries that come my way, the one I protected against all the people who cross me, all the things I actually carry on because I was so homesick and I was so lonely, it shattered. All the light inside me went dark. And I remember I sit there for a long time and I whisper to my dad, how can I carry on? How can I pretend that something did not happen? How I can show up to work, how I can pretend that everything is going okay. Because even though I was able to do that with my brother, I couldn't do it. And I remember in that silence, I asked, is that okay if I can stay in the dark for a long time? Is that okay if I don't step outside? Is it all right to stay here for a long time? Because the light outside can be too blinding. I didn't want to go out. Now, looking back, I realized what was happening to me. All my repressed emotions, it actually transformed into such sharp pain. And at that moment, I realized everything I have ever repressed came back, everything all at once. Now, studying psychiatry, there's a language for explaining what happened to me. Sigmund Freud, the father of psychoanalysis, proposed radical ideas over a century ago. He said that our human psyche actually conducts of three distinctive parts. The it, the raw self, it says, I want, I need, it needs a quick gratification. And the superego is our inner judge. It says, don't do that. It says I should. It says the expectation, and caught in the middle was my ego. Between what I can feel, what I feel, and what I am allowed to feel. Now, there's nothing beautiful in suffering. Pain is not poetry. Lessons, plans are not drawn from losses. So what am I going to do with all my broken pieces? Even older than Freud, there is a pottery art in Japan called kintsugi, which is the art of healing the broken pottery with gold. And that gold became a part of the breaking. It became a part of the beauty. It did not restore back to its own original version, but it transformed and it was reinvented. So how do we reinvent ourselves? How to actually reinvent ourselves against all the adversaries that came our way? And I realized over time, reinvention is not just a singular moment. It is a part of the process. Step 1, accept. Accept that these cracks happen to you. It hurts me, it changed me, it challenged me. Accepting is not giving up. It is the fact that you're going to have an honest lens onto what happened to you. The second step is to reclaim. Refuse to exile the parts of you that are hiding. Say this, I see you, I feel you, I will have a name for this emotion, and I will share it with someone else. The art of reclaiming is not showing how vulnerable you are to the world. It is the fact that you need to stop carrying the burden alone. And the last important step, reinvent. In kintsugi, the gold seals the cracks. But in real life, you don't have to carry it and find your gold yourself. It is around the community around you. It is the friend who refuses to leave because they know you are suffering. It is also the therapist who gives a name to what you are feeling inside. And it can be the community that helps lift you up until you can bear your own weight again. And if you're in this room and wondering where to start, I want you to start small. I want you to look at your own vase and noticing whether the cracks are already there. I want you to remember this. Accept there are past versions of yourself, the in-between versions of yourself, and the version that you are becoming. Stop calling isolation strength and stop mistaking it for resilience. And once you have found that gold that helps you make you whole again, I want you to be that gold for someone else. And the next time someone hangs around and you ask, how are you doing? I hope you stay long enough to hear the real answer. Because that is how we can actually transform our individual pain into something of gold and extend our gold into the community around you. And hopefully we can create a gold thread that help mend the differences between us. And that is how you can build your community. And if you were not born in one, build one. It starts with you. So let this be the moment that you remember your cracks are not your identity. You are not broken. Let this be the moments where we reinvent. Let this be the moments when we create our goal. Let it start with you and me today. Thank you.